Good morning, everyone. I thought I would do a quick video today to talk through how I organize my gift list and kind of gift idea slash purchasing for the holidays. Obviously, this example is for Christmas 2025. You could do this for anything if you had birthdays that you were tracking or any sort of kind of gift. Maybe you were doing like end of school year gifts that you wanted to get for teachers or something like that. So you can kind of use this format for various things. But I typically only use it for Christmas. So again, thought I would just give you a little bit of an overview of what I do and maybe inspire some ideas for your gift tracking. So I am currently in the platform called Milanote. I will put a link to the website in the description box. I've been using this for several years now, and it is definitely one of my most favorite platforms. So it's just basically a way you can organize information in a kind of easy to view and creative manner. I believe this is intended for creative professionals. So if you maybe worked for a marketing company and you wanted to do like pretty in-depth collaboration with your colleagues on a marketing campaign, and you can do like arrows and colors and all these different things and images. So you can do a lot in it. I don't typically use it for those things, but I use it to collect data. So I'll go through it in another time. What I have on my homepage, I have tons of boards, from yard work to health information to whatever it might be. I've got a ton of stuff in here. But for today, we're just going to focus on my gift inspo board. So I have this board. I have it up all year round so that I can drag and drop gift ideas, because if I think of something, I don't want to forget about it. So a lot of times I will save gift ideas in Pinterest. So if it is something I can pin, I will save it in my hidden gift board in Pinterest. But a lot of times if I'm just perusing elsewhere, or if I kind of have an idea in the wild, I will save it into this board so that I can recall it at a later time. So over here, I just have some kind of old things. So this was my birthday list from this year. That's already complete. I can probably move that into archive. So you just drag and drop. So there goes that. So I've got my archive, which I'm actually going to move to the bottom. And then I've got ideas and likes. So in this ideas and likes is where I would just pop random ideas that I have for people. So I came across this BYLT brand I thought would be a cool thing for my brother-in-law. Maybe there's a planner that somebody might like, a candle that somebody might like, just kind of random companies that I've heard of or things that I've seen that I'm like, somebody might like this at some point in time. And then over here, I have this list. I obviously haven't done a very good job of filling it out, but the intention is to write things down that people like. So my mom mentioned in passing one day that she likes citrus scents, and so I wrote that down so that I can remember in the future if I saw something that was a citrus scent, or I could go out and specifically look for something that was a citrus scent because I know that she likes that. So highly recommend vetting this out for anyone and everyone that you buy gifts for, because it's a good way to kind of get personalized gifts for people that they're actually going to want to keep and to use. Okay, so for Christmas this year, and again, I've had these, this board in particular open for several months, and I've just been putting ideas in there as they come. But we'll start off with my list. So this board right here, L Christmas 2025, is my list for my parents. So I have, you can see these little dots up here. I have the list shared with them so they can go in here and they can access any information. Again, this is a highly collaborative platform. So you can share it with anyone, or you can keep it private if you want to do that as well. So I just have my ideas for them organized by type. So home and personal, clothing. Actually, I'm not sure why these all got disconnected. They might have done that. And then stockings. So you can kind of drag and drop things into these like columns, and as you see, it kind of like tucks it in there, so it's now connected as part of that column, and it's just a nice way to keep things together. And then I can move the whole column if I wanted to, so everything will come with it. So again, just a really clean way to organize information. And then I've got my stocking stuff over here. My parents like to have a lot of information, so I provide them links to everything and then any kind of descriptors. So what I've done here is there's like a little caption. You can turn the caption on or off, and you can turn the image on or off if you don't want that much information. But the image I think is helpful for them to know like they're buying the right thing. And then I'll put things like what, like use this one time off code here or holiday code. What scent do I want? How many do I want? What size do I want? What colors do I want? All the information that they need so that it's easy for them to go in there and purchase the items I've asked for. And they don't have to kind of keep texting me saying like, hey, what was the color you want? What's your size again? It's like a one-stop shop. And it's also good for me to kind of see, because I like to have a variety of things. I like to get a couple of home things, some clothing, some planning things. And so it's nice for me to be able to see like, okay, do you have a good variety here? And then, so the color coding is, I've got a couple things going on here. The pink was just my way of saying like, these are notes for you to look at some point in time. And then they asked me to put a couple more things on my list. So I added new things in green just so they could see like these are the new items for them to go in and order. And then at the top of the little cards here, these are called cards, I've indicated in blue what has arrived. So they've sent things to my house directly rather than sending them to their house. Because we live in different states. And so this is how I can say like, okay, I got this from Athleta, I got this from Azuna, so that at a certain point in time, we'll know that everything has been accounted for and there's nothing like missing or lost. And then over here, I had just like also researching. These are a couple of other ideas of things that I wanted, but I never got around to adding them to my list. So those will probably be punted to next year. I did purchase one thing on my own. So I think I mentioned this before. There was a Beyond Yoga sale and I wanted to grab these items before they were sold out in my size. So I got them and then my parents will just pay me back for that. And then this is my cat Poppy, and that was her gift idea. So just like a really clean way to organize all the things that I want to ask for. So you could do this if you have a family like mine where they ask for ideas. You could just pop a bunch of ideas in here. It doesn't have to be organized by how I did it. And then maybe the color coding could be like maybe your sister bought something and so she marks it gray, and maybe your brother bought you something so he marks it gray. And so you can kind of use it in that method so that people know like they're not buying the same thing multiple times, kind of like a registry, if you will. So yeah, this is my list. That's how I organize things. And then the second piece here, this Christmas 2025, is my planning for the people that I will be buying gifts for. So it's kind of got a similar structure here. Same type of columns and things like that, and links to things. So over here is where I've started initially jotting my ideas, and I just have little cards per person that I'll be buying gifts for. There's no rhyme or reason to the colors. I just kind of randomly picked these. I could probably make them more festive and look nicer, but I just picked things quickly. So I have been putting ideas in here of things that I want to get them. So for my mom, for example, there's 4 things that my sister and I have identified we want to buy her, but we haven't purchased anything yet. So they're just ideas at this point. Whereas my sister, I have several ideas and I've already purchased several of the items which are in green. So that's how I know anything that's in green has already been purchased, and then everything that's not highlighted, I still need to purchase. And then you can see here, like for my dad, I don't have any specific ideas yet. So my sister and my mom and I will need to get together and do some brainstorming to determine what we're going to get him. But once we have that vetted, then I can add it here. And then to go along with the ideas, I've included links to everything where possible, which everything does have a link. So this column is to C&K, so Courtney and Caleb from me. And I just put ideas in here, and then I did the same kind of color coding system, but different colors of what's been purchased. So these 2 items have already been purchased. They're highlighted in green, and that aligns with these things here. Now, some things I didn't put links in because I just kind of purchased them at the moment I found them. So like these 2 things here, I don't have links for because I just found them and bought them. So you can kind of retroactively put them in here if you want a visual of everything you got, but I didn't need to do that. So then this list here is to my mom from everyone. So again, these are the ideas that we have. We just haven't purchased them yet. And then here I had kind of extra random ideas because I saw all these things talked about in some like gift list videos online, and I thought they were all interesting ideas and I wanted to capture them. So if I needed an extra idea for someone, I can pull from this list, but they're not assigned to anyone in particular yet. So this is just my kind of list of, or this is my board of how I organize the gifts that I want to buy for people. And then this last box here is specific for my sister. So um, my sister is very challenging to buy for. She has everything already. And so when we come across an idea for her, we need to make sure that we capture it. And then I share that with my mom, with her husband, with my sister's husband, with my sister's friends. Like people will come to me and say, hey, help, I need ideas for Courtney. Like, what do you have? So I take it upon myself to make sure I have a really thorough list for my sister. So she has a whole board for herself. So right now I only have this shared with my parents, but I might share this with my sister's husband at a later point when he's ready to buy gifts. So same structure as all the other boards. You're probably seeing a trend here where I have it organized by type of item, and then I just dropped in the link of the item so that we can go and decide if we want to get it for her later. So I do not have any specific information on sizes or anything like that yet because we haven't decided what we're going to get her or not get her. But really the intention of this board is just to say, like, here's a bunch of ideas. If somebody wants to tackle that, then they can grab it. We'll color code it and say that that person is working that item, and then they can purchase it from there. That has been a challenge in the past where I've given ideas to people and then I wasn't sure if they actually bought them, and then we ended up with duplicates. So I need to make sure moving forward that I definitely indicate, like, Caleb is getting this, so nobody else buy it kind of thing. I did purchase one of the items. This is actually one of the things I decided to get for my sister. I grabbed it for myself because I needed a little bit more for her gift. So again, just want to make sure it's very clear this has been purchased. It is no longer available. So yeah, that is how I organize this. And this particular board can also be applicable for my sister's birthday, which is not too long after Christmas. And so we will probably use some ideas for Christmas, some ideas for her birthday, but nevertheless, we've got a good list going, and then anyone can add to it if they think of things. So there you have it. That is how I do my gift organization. It's really simple. All you have to do is copy paste a link. You don't have to put a lot of brain power into it. Now, this is obviously highly specific for online type purchases. So if you're the type of person who prefers to go peruse stores and buy gifts that way, this really probably wouldn't work, other than you could list out ideas of things over here, and then you'd have to go search for them in store. So, you can definitely manipulate the organization based on how you gift and who you're purchasing for and things like that. But yeah, just wanted to give you a couple of ideas of how to get ready for Christmas gifts this year. And then also wanted to introduce you to Milanote. Like I said, I will do a deep dive into other sections of my Milanote because there's a lot of fun things that you can do and different ways to get organized. And it's kind of a one-stop shop for like life information. So yeah, I'll do more videos on that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.